Hello, it's me, Ryan O'Connor, and I'm inking my book, Bonehead. This is the titular Bonehead if you get all washed out by the blinding light of this room. Oof. Oh, yeah. So I just did my first, unboxing episode of this. I mean, I've done unboxings in previous inking videos, but I did this one separate. This is Solo, The Survivors of Chaos, and you can get it at Barnes & Noble for a human normal price, because I think at Amazon it was like nearly $500 for a 100-page book. Beautiful, amazing looking perfect looking comic, by the way. Check out my review. It's like a 15-minute video. I'm trying to figure out ways I might work in some shorter form videos in between my big old long honking inking videos. I'm just going to get into drawing and I'll talk about the stuff I'm going to talk about today. Okay. So anyway, I'm Ryan O'Connor. I am a cartoonist. I'm inking my first graphic novel. It's called Bonehead. It's a 235-page book that I penciled the whole thing already. I'm just inking it live every day here on YouTube. So feel free to tune in, tell your friends about what's going on here, especially if they're like up-and-coming cartoonists, if they're art-inclined kids, maybe. This might be the thing for them. So I started this page yesterday, got most of it done, but was running out of time because I've got a wonky schedule coming up. But I'm about to start this page, which is page 14. I also did a bunch of intro pages to this book, and I did the front and back covers earlier on this channel. So there's plenty of content to go back and watch if you like. And if you like what I'm drawing, if you like the, particularly if you like the thumbnails to my videos, maybe check out my Instagram and my Twitter with the links in the description. Okay, enough about that. There's another link in the description. My dear friend Kat Kane. She's a streamer over on Twitch at Catechus Flinch. Maybe I should have linked that as well. But she does game streams, and she does art streams twice a week over on Twitch. She's one of my oldest friends, and from high school, and she just launched a Kickstarter today for this Mothman enamel pin. It's really cute. I just backed that today. It's like, let me take a look here. I wish I could show you. I don't know how to do nothing on this. I still don't know how to do anything on YouTube. Can I? No, I think I'm just not equipped for it. But if you would care to, please consider checking out Mothman Loves You enamel pin by my friend Kat Kane on Kickstarter, also known as Catechus Flinch on Twitch. She's also got a couple videos up here on YouTube from when she was first starting out, but she's like some kind of big shot over at Twitch. I don't know what they call it. She's like a proprietor, owner, operator of Twitch. Whatever they call it. So please consider checking that out. It's really cute. I was going to tell you, she's trying to reach a goal of $500. She's already within about 24 hours. She's already at $323. So let's help out our fellow artists. I think we can do her right. Let's see. So for $12, you can get the pin, right? For $15, you get the pin and a handwritten thank you card. And she's a big text gal. She's big into like handwritten fonts, and like she makes up fonts all the time. She kind of specializes in that, but she's a great artist. So I was like, I want a handwritten thank you card for her. And then also there's a $20 tier where you can get 2 pins, give one to someone else, and get a handwritten thank you card. So it's just the 3 tiers. It's a simple Kickstarter because she's trying it out. She's doing her first one. But it's a worthy cause, because not only do I want to see her succeed, I want to be helping her out if I can, and also even more, I want to see what other things she's going to do after this. So let me see, when is it supposed to fund by? She's going to blow through the roof. She should have asked for $1 million. Estimated delivery December 2021. Ain't nothing, chump. So yeah, she's got this in the bag, but please give it a look. The link is in the description. Mothman Loves You enamel pin by KANE'S. All right, guys, I also have bad news. Like it brought me to tears, and I'm getting bummed out just thinking about it again. Norm Macdonald died. I don't like that. There weren't comedians like him. There weren't people like him. I've talked about my one of my favorite comedies, one of my favorite movies. I've talked about it before on this channel. I encourage you all to watch it. A movie called Screwed. Everybody talks about Dirty Work. Screwed is way, way better than Dirty Work. Starring Dave Chappelle and Danny DeVito. Guys, it breaks my heart. I've been really just dying to see what he was going to do next. I loved his talk show that he had recently. Norm Macdonald has a show on Netflix. I recently listened to the audiobook, which he reads himself, based on a true story. What? Boy, I can't tell you. He's kind of been in the background of I'm sorry. I can't talk about. Yeah, he's kind of been in the background of my life for a long dang time. Very long time. I loved the Norm Show. It was a sitcom he had, created by Bruce Helford, the guy who did the produced the Drew Carey Show and a bunch of shows. I know I've seen a bunch of Bruce Helford's shows, and they all kind of feel that same kind of. They're all that same kind of vibe as the Drew Carey Show. Norm's sitcom, The Norm Show, was like that. I loved it. You know, at the beginning, he had a boss named Tony Curtis. And then I think it was season 2 or maybe a few episodes in or just after the pilot or something, he was replaced with I don't even remember what the boss's name was after that, but he was replaced by Max Wright, which is where I fell in love with Max Wright, who was like the dad on Alf. And that was like half the fun of the show, was like Norm just goofing on his boss. I don't even remember what he did. He was like a. Let me see. You gotta look. You gotta find. Do yourself a favor and find. I sound like my commercials. Do yourself a favor though and find the Norm Show somewhere. His sitcom from like 1999 or something. The Norm Show. Dude, I was right. 1999. 3 seasons. And by the way, the theme song is done by this great band. I think they only put out 2 albums and a collection or something called Doug and the Slugs. They do the theme song for the Norm Show called Too Bad. And I love all that music. Oh man. Just seeing him pop up is making me so sad. Let's see. The show focused on the life of Norm Henderson, a former NHL hockey player who's banned for life from the league because of gambling and tax evasion. To avoid jail time for these crimes, Norm must perform 5 years of community service as a full-time social worker. Other characters in the show include fellow social workers Lori Freeman, Lori Metcalf, Danny Sanchez, Ian Gomez, and Danny's sometime girlfriend and former prostitute, Taylor Clayton, Nikki Cox. Now, Nikki Cox had her own show. Okay, yeah, Unhappily Ever After was one of the shows I was talking about, and then Nikki, which I don't think I've seen, but yeah, Unhappily Ever After was a one with a what do you call it? The guy, Bobcat Goldthwait, bunny puppet. It was kind of like Married with Children, only with a bunny puppet, and then sometimes ghosts. I forget. Anyway, okay, so Norm's boss on the program for the first several episodes was named Anthony Curtis. This character was quickly replaced by new boss Max Denby, played by Max Wright, whom Norm frequently antagonized and pranked. In the second season of the show, Artie Lang, or in the second season of the show, they added Artie Lang as Norm's half brother Artie. You see a lot of themes in Norm's stuff, right? And Faith Ford as Shelley Kilmartin, Norm's probation officer and love interest. I loved that show. I loved Screwed. I loved Dirty Work. Screwed is the superior film, though. People don't talk about Screwed. Watch Screwed. Do yourself the courtesy of checking out Screwed. I hope everybody will now. Even Norm himself. I've only heard him talk about Dirty Work. Never heard him talk about Screwed. It's a better film. They're both great, but I think Screwed needs a lot of love. Good one. Yeah, I guess he was privately battling cancer, is what I heard. He was... Look at all the outpouring of love from like every comedian out there. Everybody knows. Man, he was the one. I called this King of Fools. I thought that was appropriate. Something I said over on Facebook. It was like, you couldn't tell if he was dumber than you or smarter than you. You could never be sure. Just when you thought he seemed like a bumbling fool, he'd shoot you that like gleam in his eye where you realize that's just what he wanted you to think. And I'll tell you right now, he was no fool when it came to philosophy. Have you heard this man talk philosophy? Let's see. We're just going to play some Norm MacDonald, I think. I don't care. Let's see. I just want to see. I don't have anything prepared. I'm just going to pull something up. Let's try this. Sounds cute. The Professor of Logic joke.
Somebody new, This city's great because of the neighborly people, But I did meet one neighbor, interesting story, that this guy, he just moved in, next door to me. Mm-hmm. So I'm always one to meet the neighbors. you like to chat with the neighbors? Yeah, because, So I went over to the guy, knocked on the door next door to where I live. And I say to the guy, I said, "Hey, I'm your new neighbor, And I said, "Good to see you, Nice to run into you, welcome to the neighborhood, And so the guy, I said, "What do you do for a living there, sir? If you don't mind me asking, what do you do for a living?" I'm a nightclub comic. I tell the guy. So he says to me, I work down at the University of Science there. He says, that's a good school, by the way. I can't remember the exact place. He says, I'm a professor of logic. So So I says, the guy says, logic. Now, what the hell is that? I never heard tell of that. He says, oh, well, he says it's a kind of a pattern of syllogistic. Well, he says it's hard to explain. He says, why don't I give you an example? So I said, fair enough. Why don't you do that? So the guy says, well, he says, let me ask you a question. He says, do you own a doghouse? So I, yes, I do. He says, well, then that means you probably have a dog. I said, yes. He says, well, that means you're likely to have a family if you have a dog. I said, yes, I do. He said, well, then that means you got kids, you're married. I said, yes, I am. He says, well, then you're a heterosexual man. I said, yes, sir, I am. He says, well, you see, that's logic there. I asked him simply from finding out you had a doghouse, I made this series of inferences, and I found that you're a heterosexual man simply from the fact that you had a doghouse. Well, I said, good God, isn't that something? Okay. So I said, well, I won't waste any more of your time there, neighbor. And I said, I'll see you later. See you around. Okay. So I said, come by one day and have a chicken with me. So I left. So I left. So I go to get a bus, to the bus stop. And I walk down to the bus stop, and I'm still thinking about this thing that happened to me, And I'm standing at the bus, and no bus coming at all, and 5 or 6 of us standing around, and one guy lights up a cigarette there, and he goes, as soon as you light up a cigarette, the bus comes. And he smokes the whole damn cigarette, no bus comes. So I said to the guy, well, that theory really worked, huh? And the guy goes, well, sometimes it works. Anyways, the guy goes, what's new with you? I go, well, I had an interesting thing happen to me today. I said, I met my neighbor. And he goes, oh, yeah? I go, he had a hell of an interesting job. I said, he's a professor of logic down at the University of Science. And so the guy says, is that so? He says, professor of logic. He goes, what the hell is that, logic? I said, well, it's a series of something or other. Right. I said, I can't remember exactly, but I said, I'll give you an example if you want to hear an example. So the guy goes, all right, fair enough. So I said, let me ask you this. I said, let me ask you a question. Do you own a doghouse? And the guy goes, no, I don't own a doghouse. So the guy says, oh, yeah, you're one of them gays.
So there you have it. Let's see. And my brother's a big Norm Macdonald guy. And he came to him like in the past couple of years and found out that I was such a huge fan of him. And so we just talk about him all the time. So I'm gonna see if he's got anything he can come up with that he can send to me so I can just kind of keep thinking about drawing while I'm doing this. But there's something else that I was thinking of. Oh, I know. So another thing he's done in recent years, he was the pigeon on the Mike Tyson mysteries, which I didn't expect to like going in, but that is hysterical. And Norm Macdonald was one of the best parts of that too. Yeah, isn't that amazing? He was kind of starting to explode, I feel like. I never heard so many people talk about Norm Macdonald in my life as the past couple years. It's a shame. We needed more of him. Let me see. While I'm waiting for him to send me something, let's it's like you're one of them gays. Yeah, it said it was a video. Oh.
But I do know, as I was thinking about the other day, like, there are some people that believe that, like, man is divine, like kind of a hippie idea, that we're all, like, beautiful creatures. So anyways, I can't believe that because I know my own heart, and I know that's not true. And then, like, other people believe, like, we're wretched, like the cynics, you know, or the atheists or whatever would believe that we're all just wretched, like nothingness, you know, we're just animals, just creatures. So I can't believe that. That doesn't make any sense. You know, that we're just beasts. So I will say that Christianity has this interesting compromise where we're both divine and wretched. And then there's this middleman, you see, that's the Savior, that through him we can become divine, but we're born wretched. And so it's a very fascinating idea. I kind of like that one because it sort of makes sense. It's the other two are both seem equally untrue. One, that we're all divine and interconnected with nature, just seems like nonsense to me. The other, that we're beasts of the field, seems like nonsense to me. So I kind of like that Christian idea, but I'm not. I don't belong to any church.
Well, how do you like that? Just seeing if he even read my message. Because he just fires those at me all day anyway. Now I'm asking him to. Let me see. Surely there's something if I scroll out that far back. There's something. I don't know if I want to play that, but we'll see. Okay, let's see what that one was. Lord knows he's sent me a billion Norm Macdonald videos over time. This is called Norm Macdonald Got Woke, or Has He? I wasn't sure if I wanted to play this, but for lack of... Maybe it's... I don't know.
Cancel culture and everything, I have to say, I no longer take that position with O.J. Simpson. He was found not guilty by a jury of his peers. I accept that. I see him as the greatest rusher in the that's all he's guilty of to me, is the greatest rusher in the history of the NFL. Yeah, maybe I was the greatest rusher to judgment. You know how my friend goes, he goes, you gotta get woke. You know? Because I'm not woke. But why?
Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It just kind of...
Say, I no longer take that position with O.J.
It just
You
kind of...
know how my friend goes, he goes, you gotta get woke. You know? Because I'm not woke.
Oh, come on. I think it's probably because my brother is sending me something that it's kind of interrupting it. I think that's what's going on. It's like sending me back. What the heck is it doing? Oh, brother. You know, no, it's not that. I don't know. My phone's just crumbing out. So I'm going to do it in here.
And everything, I have to say, I no longer take that position with O.J. You know how my friend goes, he goes, you gotta get woke. You know? Because I'm not woke. But why is it I have to believe fucking, just because some person believes some fucking shit? You know what I mean? Like that's lady, fucking, that was a man, whatever the fuck it was.
See,
It
there's
was
a lot of that. I think I wanted to play this.
But it was clearly a lady. So the man says to me, because I'm Christian, the man says to me, how can you believe in an invisible man in the sky? I go, well, I believe you're a fucking man. Ain't that far, fucking Johnny.
All right. I don't want to. I don't want people to like be setting his casket on fire. Let's see. How about this?
It's time to help people.
No, it's not. Oh, this might just be a bad idea.
To show you how easy it is to watch yourself and other live streams on your tablet device.
On
man.
the computer.
Oh, it is. No,
Go ahead and
I thought
hit
it was
play there.
another commercial.
Okay,
Right there in my-
so simple.
You see your face?
Oh yeah, it's me with a huge fat fucking face.
Yeah, I didn't want to be the
Okay,
one to say it.
well, and I'm done with that. But it's all right. We here. I know what I'll do. I gotta find something to. I gotta find a good one. I gotta find something good. After doing something that doesn't work. I liked this.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I like life.
Wait.
How's the family? How's everything going?
Great, man. Couldn't be better. Life is fantastic.
Yeah.
I like life, man.
You do, really?
Oh my God! People that complain about it. First of all, you're lucky. You're lucky enough to be alive when you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Your mother had to have sex with your father. That your grandparents had to have sex. Great-grandparents had to have sex. It's lucky you're alive, my God.
It's amazing.
And I'm so happy every day
You
that I'm
should be.
alive because it's just a fluke. There's so many more people that never got to be alive.
That's an interesting point. I guess you're right. If you do the math.
So when people carp about it, I'm like, man, it's the greatest gig in the world. Being alive, you get to eat at Denny's, wear a hat, whatever you want.
Yeah. How's the family? How's everything going?
You get to eat at Denny's, wear a hat, whatever you want to do. That's true. Oh, I know what I gotta put on. I just thought of one big one. If you haven't heard this, you need to hear this right now.
When I was young, there was a fella went by the name of Jacques de Gautier. And he was from Temiskaming, Canada.
No, this isn't it. Dang
And
it.
Jacques de
It's disguised as that, but it's not. Here we go.
Not all your material comes from the news. Is that right? You know,
No, some of my material my strongest material comes from real life.
real life.
Like, for instance, today I was driving in a car.
Mm-hmm.
You were kind enough to bring a car to bring this little chunk of coal here to the studio.
We send cars for our guests. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got in it, and I get material that way. So my
What do you mean? How do you get material that way? You get in the car, and what happens?
my driver tells me a joke.
The driver we sent to pick you up told you a joke.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell it now on the show.
Yeah, that's how I get a lot of my material.
Okay. Why don't we just have him on next time?
That guy. That guy. Oh, wait till you hear me do it. So the guy, he goes, I say, I'll be the guy.
Okay.
A moth goes into a podiatrist's office.
A moth goes into a podiatrist's office. Right?
You are correct. A moth goes into a podiatrist's office, and the podiatrist's office says, "What's the problem?" And the moth says, "What's the problem? Where do I begin, man?" He goes, "I go to work for Gregory Olinovich, and all day long I work." Honestly, Doc, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I don't even know if Gregory Olinovich knows. He only knows that he has power over me, and that seems to bring him happiness. But I don't know. I wake up in a malaise, and I walk here and there. The podiatrist says, "Oh, yeah?" The moth goes, "Yes." He goes, at night, I sometimes wake up, and I turn to some old lady in my bed that's on my arm. A lady that I once loved, Doc. I don't know where to turn to. My youngest, Alexandria. She fell in the cold of last year. The cold took her down, as it did many of us. And my other boy. And this is the hardest pill to swallow, Doc. My other boy, Gregorio Ivanilidovich. I no longer love him. As much as it pains me to say, when I look in his eyes, all I see is the same cowardice that I catch when I take a glimpse of my own face in the mirror. If only the cowardice was stronger, then perhaps I could bring myself to reach over to that cocked and loaded gun that lays on the bedside behind me and end this hellish facade once.
How long a drive was this? Do you live in the valley? Where do you live? Please, sorry.
He says, Doc, sometimes I feel like a spider, even though I'm a moth, just barely hanging on to my web with an everlasting fire underneath me. I'm not feeling good. And so the doctor says, Moth, man, you're trouble. But you should be seeing a psychiatrist. Why on earth did you come here? And then the moth said, because the light was on.
Oh.
My congratulations to anyone who stuck it through to the end. So Norm.
What?
We're pretty much out of time.
Well, listen, it's over.
What's that? Do it. We have. I understand you've been pitching television show.
Yeah, my brother did say that he wishes he could come on and talk about Norm. It's Liam, the guy I've had on here a few times. He's preoccupied. He's working right now. But yeah, he'd be a good guy to get on right now. Maybe we'll talk about him soon on here. Man. I miss you, Norm. They don't make him like him. Even when they made him, they didn't make him like him. And my brother Liam, he would always send me clips from, what was it called, Norm Live or something? It was kind of the predecessor to Norm Macdonald has a show where it's just kind of like a talk show, but it was kind of a podcast or something, like a video podcast. It was like a YouTube channel or something. I've only seen clips of that my brother sent me, and he's sent me a lot over time. But oh man, and Norm Macdonald, he's always getting in trouble for the things he says. But man, I mean, if you can't love Norm Macdonald, I got nothing for you. Or something. There we go. You stinking internet. Okay. I'm just looking through his IMDb. The Jackie Thomas Show. Never heard of it. Very next thing, Billy Madison. The Larry Sanders Show as himself. Adam Sandler, Steve Polychronopoulos. I don't know nothing about that. News Radio. Dirty Work. Dr. Doolittle, we remember that. He played the dog Lucky. And he was in the sequels as well. Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo. And I believe there he was kind of playing Rob Schneider's role as the you can do it guy, pretty much. Since Rob Schneider was the main character of that one. Man on the Moon. I was just thinking of that movie. I didn't know he was in it, but I haven't properly seen that. But for some reason, I was just thinking of that movie. Then the Drew Carey Show. He plays himself and Simon Tate across 2 different episodes. Then he's in Screwed, one of my favorite movies of all time. the Animal, the Norm Show. I'm gonna be right back. Why don't I put on my good friend? Well, I'm gonna put on our sponsor.
Hi, I'm Adam Carolla, and I got a surprise for you. New Vermont Teddy Bears for Boys. It's the same recipe as for old bears, only tailored for the boys in your life. This one wears a baseball hat. This one's covered in dirt. Here's one getting conked on the head with a rolling pin. Must have forgotten the big anniversary. Don't be this pinhead. Buy a Vermont Teddy Bear today. Now for boys. I don't know, we're trying it out. I'm Adam Carolla, selling Vermont Teddy Bears.
Didn't that just make you want to buy whatever product that was? Okay. So I've got some tea heating up for me. Okay. All that said and done. I'll go through the rest of his IMDb here. And what about SNL? It didn't list SNL. Isn't that odd? Anyway, Dr. Dolittle 2. Oliver Bean, he was on that show. Hobo Bob, that's right. I loved Oliver Bean. I have a bootleg set of it somewhere. A bootleg DVD set because it was never released. But it's got a cool menu and everything. It looks like a proper DVD, like when you put it in. Anyway, Hobo Bob. A Minute with Stan Hooper I've watched. I don't remember it too well. It's another sitcom he's the star of as Stan Hooper, which I think is an SNL character he had. He plays Norm the Genie for a while on Fairly Odd Parents. Back to Norm TV movie. Ooh, that sounds good. I've never seen that. I'll have to look into that. Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo. Never saw it. Earl McManus. Who does he play in the first one? Bartender, okay. Uncredited. Actually, it looks like he's uncredited in a handful of things. Like Lucky in Dr. Dolittle 2. So Earl McManus in Deuce Bigelow 2. Bars of the Penguins. Join Twosome's Penguin. I don't know what that means. Dr. Dolittle 3. Christmas is Here Again. Dr. Dolittle Tale to the Chief. Sounds ridiculous. Senior Skip Day as Mr. Rigetti. The Flight Before Christmas. Dr. Dolittle $1 Million Mutts. Sounds ridiculous. My Name is Earl as Little Chubby. Sounds less ridiculous. Here we are. Saturday Night Live, 1993 through 2009. I'm guessing that's on and off. Funny People, never saw it. Grown Ups, never saw it. Hollywood and Wine, never heard of it. Jack and Jill, never saw it. Outback, never saw it. Or I've never heard of that. The Adventures of Panda Warrior, Vampire Dog. A lot of voice acting here in this stretch. The Seventh Dwarf, I've heard of that, but Sunnyside, Real Rob, The Ridiculous Six, never saw it. Girl Boss, The Treasure Hounds, Family Guy as Death, and also himself at some point. I don't remember ever seeing him as himself on Family Guy. Oh, speaking of Death, see, Norm Macdonald plays Death at first, and then the role is taken over by Adam Carolla. And yeah, interesting. The Ladybug, The Middle, never saw it. Skylanders Academy, The Orville. Oh yeah, he's this like blob guy in The Orville. Klaus, Mike Tyson Mysteries, like I said, he plays Pigeon. One of the best characters on a surprisingly sneak attack. Great show. Great comedy. And then Back Home Again, which I don't think has come out yet. So those are the roles. Thank you, Norm Macdonald. God bless you. I'll miss you like hell. Anyway, I'm gonna look into what's my friend's deal. Let's see, we're at the Mothman Loves You Kickstarter, which was half funded in less than 12 hours. Go Cat. Let's see, campaign. Where's she at? So yeah, she's got 19 backers, $340 pledged, with 24 days to go. But don't sit on them. Let me tell you something. I've sat on Kickstarters even as recently as like 2 months ago, where I was like, I'm gonna wait till closer to the deadline and then I'll back it. I'll tell you what it was too. It was called Rad Plastic. I might have talked about it on this show. It was a book on the sculpts for the toys for the Ninja Turtles figures. And it was going to have a bunch of model photography and a bunch of like inside stuff on the making of the Ninja Turtles figures. It's called Rad Plastic, and then I was like, okay, I better back that before it's too late. And then I went and backed, I didn't go back. I went back to the Kickstarter, and it had ended the day before, and that's happened to me. Oh, at least 2-3 times. So it's really important that if you're gonna back it, just back it. This one, it's as little as $15 to get a pin. As much it, and I'll tell you, for the highest tier, the $22 or the $20 tier. Also, what is that? A cup of coffee. With whatever surcharge or whatever, I think it was like, I think there's a shipping charge or something, but it was like $22 flat. So, I mean, that's nothing for a cool enamel pin and some art, support an artist, a good friend of mine. I want to see what she's gonna pull off with her art career, because she's really got a fire under her right now, and I love it. And again, you can find her. You'll probably see her designing it or something, or you'll see pictures of it, I'm sure, on her Twitch channel. It's a cool design for an enamel pin. But she's a great artist. She's something else. You know what would be cool? I would love to see her do some kind of book. That would be amazing. Even if she just wrote a dang book, she could do that. But she's an artist. I want to see her art. You know me. I like artists. It's funny. Sorry, I want to bring it down again. It's like, on one of my last shows, I was talking about how, like, everyone I know of that's had cancer recently in the past couple of years made it. They beat it. And then this happens. Dang. We lost a good one. Like, take nothing for granted. Your own life, the lives of those around you. Letting your guard down is inevitable. You never seem to love everyone enough. Where you always feel like you forgot to do something before it was too late. I don't even know what I forgot to do. I was just talking about Screwed like 2 days ago. You know what I mean? I'm dragging this panel out. This is getting real dragged out. I might go back to that later. Maybe even off screen. I don't feel like doing all that nitty stuff with the brush right now. Yeah, there's a lot of recurring themes in his career. I always notice, like, well, obviously the gambling stuff, which he was an actual gambler, big into sports. In fact, I didn't even see any mention of his sports talk shows. He had some kind of Norm Macdonald talk sports or something at one point. I remember. But let's see. But yeah, there's like the gambling thing always comes up in his work. Artie Lang being his stepbrother, like in Dirty Work. It's also the case in the Norm Show. I think the retired hockey player thing comes up a couple times too. Or at least, he's Canadian, so I know hockey does. Oh, you know what? I was gonna get a cup of tea. I just heated one up. Let me go grab that. Okay. Oh, look at this. This is the first thing that popped up right here. On Twitter, Doug Tenaple says, "The great Norm Macdonald has passed. Thank you for the laughs and thoughtful philosophy. See you on the other side." And this guy's quoting that video, which is where I got it from. "Man, this is the greatest gig in the world. Being alive, you get to eat at Denny's, wear a hat, whatever you want to do." Norm Macdonald is undoubtedly one of the greatest comedians of all time, in my opinion, the greatest. And you're doing yourself a massive disservice if you haven't looked through his huge body of work, down to every obscure cameo, guest appearance, and bit. It's true. Let's find one more good one. Here's somebody retweeting Steven Crowder saying, "I am truly, irreparably heartbroken." Oh, dang. No, that's not even what I saw earlier. I did see somebody retweet something else by him that I thought was very nice. Here it is. This is Steven Crowder. "I've never cried over the death of a celebrity. Norm Macdonald has changed that. He was one of the greatest influences of my professional life and one of the last true guards of comedy. My sorrow is surpassed only by my gratitude for the mark he left on the world." It's very nice. This one guy says, "This is the greatest, most wholesome Twitter home feed I've ever seen. Just everyone coming out to share their favorite clips and celebrate the legend that is Norm Macdonald." It's true. See, I had a suspicion that this was coming, not his death, but this outpouring of love for Norm Macdonald. I thought we were like on the cusp of like his career about to explode again. I really did. I think that was approaching. I said I wasn't going to do that. Okay. Where am I? Let's look at my list of things here. I might actually wrap this up soon. Come 6 o'clock, so about half an hour. I'm gonna wrap this up. I should be much farther on this page than I am. I am distracting myself a lot tonight. I mean, if you look back on the archives of this show, you know I've talked about Norm Macdonald before. He was a big deal to me and my brother. Like separately, we both came to him and kind of have bonded over the past couple years over how much we love Norm. For was it his last birthday? I believe his last birthday. Maybe a couple years ago, I bought him Screwed, and I bought him a stand-up video of Norm's stand-up, and I bought him both the physical book based on a true story, and I bought him the audiobook as well, so you could listen to him. And all those are great gifts. Please take my word for it. He put out a Netflix special a couple years ago called, what is it? Gossip, Trickery, and Hitler's Dog, or something like that. It's called Norm Macdonald, Hitler's Dog, Gossip, and Trickery. Which it's weird. I don't remember it so much. I know I'm pretty sure he starts it off talking about like eating pork. But I don't remember it so much. But I did watch it recently. It's probably the last thing I watched on Netflix. And by recently, I mean I haven't watched Netflix in a while, so like maybe in the past 5 months. Dude, it's mine. I'm gonna tilt this light around so I can kind of see a little better. Sorry if that makes it so you can't see as good, but I'm erring on the side of selfishness on this one. How do you like that? I mean, this is the Ryan show. This ain't the You show. Sorry. And man, as broken up as I am about it, I know my brother's jacked about it. He just he has a very similar sense of humor to my brother Liam in a lot of ways. And I think that's why my brother was gravitating toward him recently. Let me see something. Oh, my brother sent me a message. It's just like he forwarded something to me on Twitter. If you die, the cancer also dies at exactly the same time. That to me isn't a losing battle. It is a draw. Which I'm not sure if that is being credited to Norm Macdonald or if they're saying that about Norm Macdonald. It's not clear. I'll look that up. Yeah, not sure. But that is very nice. He was a very thoughtful man. He was a very playful man. We'll never see comedy like his again either. I know he got along really well with David Letterman. I always sensed that. Let's see. So I thought it'd be cool to play something of him on Letterman. This is his first appearance on Letterman, stand-up comedy, 1990. I don't even know what this is. Let's see.
Let's all take this opportunity to tuck in our ties. Our next guest has performed at clubs all over Canada and the United States, including the Improv in Los Angeles and also Catch a Rising Star and Stand Up New York.
here in Manhattan. And now, making his network television debut, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Norm Macdonald. Norm,
Well, thanks. Good to be here. I've been traveling around a lot, watching a lot of the TV, you know, and you see these new sports on TV where they'll try to combine two sports together and make up a new sport. You know, like a guy will run a 100-yard dash and then fish.
That's
Well, I love the TV. I said a cat food commercial. I said at the end of it, said, all natural food for your cat. All natural food. You know, but cat food is made out of horse meat. Yeah, that's the way it works in nature. The cat right above the horse in the food chain. Matter of fact, every time my kitty gets a little cooped up in the apartment, I need to take him down to a racetrack, let him stalk some prey down here. It's so cute, he comes trotting back with a stallion hanging out of his mouth there, you know. But I love the TV, you know, anything at all. The only thing I don't like, you ever see it when there's a celebrity that you really respect and admire, and then he shows up on some cheap TV show, you know? Last week I was watching the Hollywood Squares, and a secret square, J.D. Salinger. Well, I like game shows. That's my favorite thing, you know, big prizes and everything. You ever see the dating game? You ever see that show? That's a weird show. They have the prize on that show, another contestant. Talk about cheap. And they always do the same thing in that show. They get a beautiful girl, match her up with 3 giant dorks. Last week they had a guy on. It was a crazy guy, loony bin, psycho, wingnut. You can tell by the way they introduce it. They go, bachelor number 2 is a shadowy lurking character whose hobbies include skulking. Please welcome for no fixed address. He's just a guy. Menacing figure shambles into the studio there, you know. And then they make the girl ask those questions, you know, laced with sexual innuendo. You know, girl go, bachelor number 2, if I were a popsicle, what would you do to me then if I were a popsicle? How's your testing the card here? And he goes, well, if you're a popsicle, huh? Well, first of all, I guess I'd take your wrapper off. If you know what I mean. Then I'd grab a hold of your sticks. If you know what I mean. Then I'd press you against the counter till you're broken too. But happy in the freezer till later. You know what I mean? Understand what I'm getting at? It's crazy. But a lot of violence on TV. You know, kids aren't supposed to watch violence now on TV. They're afraid maybe the kids will copy what they see on the screen, you know. I can't even get a funny cartoon anymore because some 12-year-old watched a particularly violent episode of the Roadrunner Coyote Show. And the next day they found him at the bottom of a canyon with 2 giant springs strapped to his feet. A couple of springs. He had a little umbrella in his hand. Sign said, yikes. But there's violence everywhere. You know, I was reading in a paper, this guy, if you can believe this, a guy killed his family because the devil told him to. Can you believe that? Imagine that, killing your family, and then you go back to the devil, you go, yes, devil, I did as you instructed. I killed my family, and I chopped them up and put them in a duffel bag. Here they are. I'll be burying them tonight at the shallow grave by the side of the railroad track, as you have commanded, O Lord host of the hoary netherworld. Then the devil pulls off a mask. It's me, Bob! Oh, Bob! Yes, you got me, Bob. You got me there. I got my family in a duffel bag over here. That's one for you there, Bob. Dirty dog.
Dirty dog.
So I had this dream today. You ever have a dream, and then you wake up right in the middle of a great dream, and then you're back in your stinking life again? So then you try to fall asleep, re-dream it? Man, it never always end up with some weird mutation of your original dream, man. Like in the first dream, I was in a pool with Christy Brinkley, and we were swimming toward each other, and then I woke up. So I fell asleep again, and I ended up shooting pool with David Brinkley.
No. Okay. Let's see now. Try not to put on something super long, like a whole set.
But anyway, so I went to every guy, and every doctor, and I do a thing. I have a little trick with the doctors. I tell them symptoms I don't have, so I get a thorough examination. So I go to the throat doctor, I go, my throat hurts all the time, a constant pain in my throat. The guy's like, good Lord. So he gives me a real thorough, and then the stomach doctor, and then he checks out my system, so real thorough, I don't want to talk about the ass doctor, but I go through all the doctors, and I'm wheezing and coughing, and so then I get the thorough examination.
And how did it turn out?
Clean bill of health.
Oh, congratulations.
That's
That's great. That must be a huge peace of mind for you.
Yeah. That's what it gives you. It gives you peace of mind, for a while. Because doctors really, they can't, that's all they can do is give you not bad news. They can only tell you have nothing. They never give you good. It's never like the doctor will come out and go, good news, the blood test came back, you're immortal.
Yeah. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, they just tell you, you got nothing yet.
Yeah.
Keep coming back, and I'll give you this piece of news that'll shatter your life. But so, anyways, about 6 months later, I decided I'll get me some life insurance because I have my kid that's he's got to be at least 6. And I go, I'll get some life insurance because this is irresponsible of me not to have life insurance. So I apply for life insurance. Every life insurance company turns me down.
Why?
And then I go, holy Lord, something's wrong with me.
Yeah.
Because maybe Mayo Clinic lost a file or something.
Switch the records.
Often happens.
No, I don't think at the Mayo Clinic that often happens.
No, not at the Mayo
No,
Clinic.
no.
But at the lesser.
The lesser clinics.
So anyways, I find out that the insurance company is privy to all the doctor's notes and everything.
Oh.
So they had me with severe abdominal pain, rectal bleeding.
Well, the guardian's not going to insure you with that.
No.
So your little scheme backfired.
Yeah, I had to get one of the Ed McMahon insurance. I get $1 million insurance, and you end up paying $500,000 a year for it.
What have you been out doing stand-up? I know you're probably really busy with the show, but do you ever get to go out and do gigs?
Oh no, yeah, I've been off show business for a while, and I do the smoky nightclubs, And recently, I was at a place and a dude said, "Hey, would you mind going to this hospital, to entertain, for the orderlies and the people in the hospital? That'd be a nice thing to do, because I don't do a great deal of nice things. So, no, I do. I'm a very nice guy.
I know. We've read all about you.
So I go to the hospital, and I'm driving to the hospital. The guy's driving me. I don't know how to drive. I'm all happy.
I'm sorry. Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
he doesn't know how to drive.
Don't know how to drive?
I don't know yet. but I will. I'll learn. As my child approaches his
Well, I don't know
13th
how,
birthday, I should
what
soon.
his status was
I go
upon
to
his
the,
death,
I
but
go to the hospital.
my understanding was
The
he
guy
never
Sid Younger
learned how to drive.
books this gig. He tells me, you just talk to, you entertain for the orderlies and the staff and the patients, and I get there. So the guy's driving me there, and we're looking for the hospital and everything, and we're getting close to the hospital, and all of a sudden I see like some barbed wire, right? And there's guards and everything. And there's a big giant sign that says State Hospital for the Criminally Insane. So now I'm being frisked and ID and everything, and I get in, and now I'm going, I don't even know if these people deserve a show.
Well, if you can brighten anyone's day, I think
Yeah,
it's a nice thing.
yeah, but I don't want to brighten the day of somebody who slaughtered their family.
No,
last
that's
week. So I get in there, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll do it. I'm committed to doing it. I go, well, where do I perform? Like a cafeteria or something? The guy's like, no, we got a theater.
Oh, theater.
A big theater in the State Hospital for the Criminally Insane. So I go in there and I go, the Statler brothers were here. So I go, all right. So I go in there, and it's a beautiful theater, and it fits like 1,000 people. And there's like 40 criminally insane guys in there. And I don't know what the rest of them are doing. And so and then the guy introduces me, and and he had like an old bio of me or something, I think. And but it was ridiculous introducing me to these guys.
Right.
It was like, ladies and gentlemen, I'm from Evening at the Improv and George Schlotter's Comedy Club, Norm MacDonald, and there's nothing. They're all muttering criminally insane things. So I'm walking. I've never had this. I'm walking toward the mic, and I start getting heckled. Like before I'm
Not even on stage.
I'm like 15 feet from the mic, and I hear, "Nice shoes, bitch."
That's not good.
So I go up, and then just all kinds of insane things. One guy goes, "Where's the Statler brothers?" And the other guy's like, "Yeah, what is with those shoes, bitch?" And I'm not even at the mic. I didn't even get to the mic yet. So I get there, and then as soon as I start talking, I start with my answering machine bit, and you know that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, anyone have an answering machine? And they're like, "Go home! Go home!" They keep yelling.
Yeah.
So I just had it, and I said to them, "Well, that's the beauty of it. I can't."
And then you hit the road. A minute with Stan Hooper, Wednesdays at 8:30 at Fox. We'll have a pleasure to see you again. Thank you very much for being here. Norm MacDonald with the Red Back with Jack Hanna, everybody.
Okay. It's been a wonderful time just thinking about Norm MacDonald. Get out of my face, sucker. Get out of my face. I'm gonna flip this whole table over. Okay, that'll do. So it's been a good time reminiscing about our good friend Norm MacDonald. Miss you, buddy. Put in a good word for the rest of us schmucks. Not that I know him or anything. But yeah, so there's that. I don't know. Check out my review on this artist, Oscar Martin, and his book Solo, The Survivors of Chaos. It's a 15-minute video I posted just before this one. Check out my friend's Kickstarter campaign in the link below. Kat Kane, her Mothman Loves You enamel pin campaign. Let's get her to her goal. now. That'd be cool. I'm so proud of her. And otherwise, I'll be doing another stream tomorrow. I'll finish this page. I don't know. It's a weird schedule this week, but we're working anyway. I'm probably going to do some sketchbook stuff. And I don't know. But I'll be back on tomorrow. All right. Thanks, guys. Love you. Bye. I said bye.